Art for Change podcast, where creativity and empowerment unite. Streaming live every Monday, Thursday, and Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern. We got Motion Monday, Therapeutic Thursday, and Soulful Sunday. If you like what you see, book your seat. We turn up the heat with your Art for Change.
Hey, and we are live. What's going on, Arthurs and Change Makers? Yes, this is another episode of Art for Change podcast. Today is Soulful Sunday, and I am your host, Mr. Sexual, and my co-host in the building.
You already know it's your boy Be You, because that's all you got to do. Be you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm
And
trying to
Lady
change.
Alba.
Lady Alba in the
Alba, how you
house.
doing, love?
I'm good. I'm good. I hung out and I'm hung up.
She said, I hung out and I'm hung up. I love it. I love it.
Yes.
Y'all had a good weekend?
Yeah, mine was good. Yesterday is when I hung out. Old family friend, like family cousins. We could say we are connected with them. It's been a minute, and they had a fish fry at their house. And let me give shout out to what they call it. Well, the Queens Village homies, Hollis homies. And something I learned that some part of Queens Village is, they call it. I can't even remember the name now. But it was a good time. I ran into some people there that I'm looking at their faces, a few brothers. I said, Dad, they look familiar. You know, eventually I go to wherever they are talking in it's the backyard of the house. And I said, y'all look familiar. And you. So the only thing that could connect was to the man I married. So I said, y'all know House? All of them did. It was amazing. All of them did. So that I introduced who I was. Oh, I'm Mrs. Wilson. I'm Miss House. Now I'm like, now look, when you see it, don't go back because he don't like that. But I call it as it is because we still legal. But we ain't been together in over 20 something years. So, but it is what it is. That's how I see it. So yeah, it was real good, real good. They all gave me hugs and stuff like, man. And it was just one of the dudes there. They were telling stories, which made me things I remembered, hearing stories about them. And one guy had a 40 of Old English. Y'all know about the 40s of Old English?
Yeah, the white neck.
Yeah. Look,
Yeah, they make a plastic now. They
LL
don't make them glass no more.
Yeah. So he had it. That was the drink back in the day that all the crew drank. Quarts, and then it went to 40s. I was
Yeah.
gonna say LL was a big quart of old English drink. LL Cool J
Hmm.
Hmm.
back in
Hmm.
the day on the bottom of 168th and Hillside Avenue. But yeah, so and he had one there, and then he had more than one because after he finished that one, he pulled out another ice cold one. So I was
There are
like, and I
80,
took a
80 ounces of beers. Hey, that nigga beat
yeah,
me.
yeah. So they had their pictures going on and the lean and all of that. I said, hold up, y'all need a big girl in there. Is one picture they took of me, and I got the
Oh,
40 in my palm of my hand. So it was just fun. It was
oh,
delightful.
well,
It was real good. Huh?
yeah, we went
Yeah.
out for a moment, momentarily.
Oh, you heard? I went out for a moment. Really?
Yes, ma'am.
Nah, I heard you clear.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
I
It was
heard,
just my end.
I heard it. Yeah.
That's your and yeah, yeah. So it was real cool. Then I was calling my husband last night. Well, house. I was calling him because I said, let me get him on the line right now. They like, yeah, call him, but he didn't answer. He called me this morning. I was hung up. I'm still hung up. But anyway, I called him a little later tonight, this evening, and he sent me a picture that they sent him. Yeah, I was like, yep, yep, yep. So it was real cool.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Glad you enjoyed the weekend. What about you, BU?
Yeah.
I ain't do nothing yesterday or today. I did hang out with the roommates Friday. Yeah, I went out with the roommates Friday. Went to we got a local spot we always go to. They as soon as we walk in, they're already pouring, my shit. Hey, hey,
Yeah, you
know my
know.
real name. Yeah, BU is here. All right, and then you know me, the energy is just like so. Like, yeah, we chilled there. We walked around. We ate some. It's called Pizza Rock. It's a popular place in Vegas. Pizza Rock. Yeah, we went there. Got home early at like 12:31. Like I'm getting to a point where I don't really like hang out too much no more unless people are like visiting town. So and then
Did
to
we both hear that, Lady Alpha? Did he say he got home early at 1 and 2 in the morning?
Yes, he
no,
did.
I said 12:31.
Early for two in
12:31.
the morning. That's early.
That's early.
That's early because Vegas doesn't shut down. It's 24 hours. People usually get
Okay.
home at like 6. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah,
Okay.
then I found out I gotta start a new job tomorrow. I was talking to the guy earlier today. It's simple. It's like simple. Working on the Wells Fargo main office, and I got to look at the drawing and do all that. But other than that, which is simple, I already know how to do that. But yeah, it's like a lot of changes, like, and it's like sporadically. It's like you never know when shit gonna change with our jobs.
But you said
Just like
before,
you
I
were.
remember you, I'm sorry, you said you worked at was working on a Wells Fargo, the whole building before, I think, right? Another
Yeah, this
what you
is a
do?
different one too.
Yeah.
So,
So all the
so since
jobs are with
I
Wells Fargo or different companies?
no, the thing is, since I already did one,
Hmm.
I know they're all the same building. I mean,
Oh,
the same structure. So
hmm.
they're not gonna reteach somebody to do it. So they got me
Uh-huh.
doing it.
Okay, got it.
So yeah, with the same crew and everything. So everybody knows what's going on. Like it's no babysitting. Like we
Mm-mm.
get there, get it done, move on.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Okay.
What about you, Mister?
I worked this weekend and chilled today. Slept chilled maybe a little bit too much today. Got up and did some Sunday cleaning. Old lady did most of. But Saturday after, I'm just being honest. Saturday after work, but I woke up and she was already, music playing, stuff was tidying up, shit was moved, things was in the
Hmm.
motion of cleaning. So I immediately got up and started washing dishes. First thing I did, didn't even brush my teeth this morning. Got up and started washing dishes because it was like it was already cleaning. So how I look like not joining in. Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't get a pow pow.
I don't want look. I just try to keep the peace. You know what I mean? So I just filled in what I felt in. I seen that
That's
the
it.
dishes won't touch. I was like, all right, so I get on those.
There you go. There you go, smart man.
Right.
Smart man.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
smart. I gotta learn from you because
Look,
I
it,
don't
it
be
might
doing
learn,
that.
look, look, you might learn a little
Hey,
stuff. But
hey, you know what's
but
crazy? I keep this house cleaner than I do my own house. When I talk to the lady, she's like, "Yo, you do that? You do this? You do that?
where you do this
You don't do that here."
Yeah,
at?
she
Yeah,
making a
exactly.
list for you. When you gonna come home, she gonna have it pinned up.
Oh, you doing this for your place too now.
Right.
But the other episode we just had, we spoke on how bosses can do things to make the team and make feel more appreciated and not just not just their work ethic or whatever. So this past weekend, one of our employers took us on Employee Appreciation Day. He took
Mm,
the
yeah.
whole company to Top Golf,
Hmm.
and if anybody knows anything about Top Golf, it's pretty frightening.
What is Top
Um,
Golf? Mm-mm.
Top Golf is like a big place you can go to play golf, but it's like
Hmm.
games and shit like to it.
Okay.
Um, hmm um, and they have a restaurant inside of there. They have a big ballroom or uh, sports room where you can watch games and stuff. So they fed us, and we was able to play the little 2 rounds. I think it was 2 hours worth of top golf. So that was
Okay.
something fun and interesting for the whole group. You know what I mean? And
Now,
I'm not a golfer by no
okay.
means, shape, or form. And that came out last night. But yeah, yeah, it did, it did. My old lady ended up beating us twice, beating me twice. It's the points was higher than mine. One of our good friends ended up winning the last round with the last shot. How about that?
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
and
his
it was
last.
just it was random appreciation. Like,
Well, we had completed the. If y'all know that I was at the Tennessee side on doing the Tennessee site, but now I'm in Memphis, but doing a site in Arkansas. So the site that I was completed in Tennessee, they was giving us some appreciation for saving the company $1.2 million.
Now, the golf, is it comparable to miniature golf or regular?
Probably regular,
Mhm.
because they have these big pits out in the field,
Okay.
and each pit is lit up, and based on which hole you go in, is the point. So
Okay.
you're shooting from a certain stationary position that everybody is shooting from. You're trying to hit the
Mhm.
balls into these certain pits, and these different pits have different point values. So some
Mhm.
of them, and a bit closer to you, are smaller value. The ones further away continually have more value.
Okay.
And
it's
based
like
off
darts
whichever,
mixed with
yeah, and
golf.
based off whichever ones you get it into, that's your points. And if you don't get it into one of the
Mhm.
pits, then you don't get no points for that round. Stuff like that.
And just
Okay.
like darts, you
Oh.
can hit a bullseye. Like it's like darts, like
Mhm.
and golf mixed together.
Mhm. Mhm. All right. You had fun, fun, fun.
Yes, ma'am, we did. We enjoyed
Good.
ourselves. We enjoyed ourselves.
Good.
And I mean, no disrespect, but who don't like free food? Who don't like free anything? So,
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
haven't been to Top Golf myself, so it was a fun experience for me because, what I mean, I had never even took myself there yet.
How
But
was the
but
food?
I'm not a huge golfer. It was a Spanish cuisine, so it was
Okay.
chicken and steak fajitas. Who don't like chicken and steak
Okay.
fajitas? Come on, baby, I
Mhm.
was in
Mhm.
love.
And I
Uh-huh.
I
love
Uh-huh.
was,
chicken.
you know what I mean? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Now
Was
that I'm not gonna lie,
Christie's.
the steak could have been a little bit more flavorful, but it was all right for what it was.
Okay.
Vegas cannot be choosers, and it was free, so whatever it was
Mhm.
gonna be good. You know, we was definitely appreciative of
Mhm.
it. It wasn't no pizza. They always like to give you pizza when you do good on a job. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
They had like we in middle school. I don't want no pizza for my appreciation. Take me to
No,
Taco
that's right. Pizza, call it
Bell.
pizza. No more pizza. Right.
Yeah, it was supposed to be 50 people there. 50 people didn't show up. It was only like 30 of us. They gave all of us
Mhm.
drink tickets. Everybody had two drink tickets. So because people didn't show up, they would turn around giving us more drink tickets. I'm talking about alcohol drink tickets, free.
Mhm.
Yeah, so everybody had a good time. Everybody had a good time.
That's nice. Nice.
Hmm. And I'm not a
Did
drinker,
y'all?
so I drink a beer too. I'm not a huge drinker, so
Mhm.
but I partake. I had like 2 or 3 beers. Shout out to Heineken.
Okay.
They were free that night.
Green soda? Green soda?
I love the green soda.
I would have been there buying drink tickets. Hey, let me get that for $2. Hey, yeah, I know you got a drink. Let me get that
Uh,
So they were just giving them out. They were just giving them out, man. He ended up giving them out. I think I still got like 2 or 3 in my pocket, bro, because I just,
well, no. See, you did the wrong thing. You don't come home with the drink tickets.
Hey, I would have been selling them. So, hey,
You
sold to the
don't
man
come
with the drinks in
home
his
with the drink tickets.
yes, yes. I know, man. I know. Uh, This is not one of my poisons. I dipple and dabble.
Yeah.
If it was a herbal fest, I probably would have indulged a little more.
Mm.
Oh, we saw you rolling up just now.
Mhm.
We know.
But today is Soulful Sunday, man, and we got some topics for the
Yeah.
night. Tonight we're gonna talk about empathy. We're gonna talk about compassion. and the light
Hmm.
thereof. So, to jump right into things, um, how do you guys define empathy and compassion, and what distinguish the two from your points of view?
Lady, we'll just keep it in this order, the circle order.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. All right. How do I define empathy and compassion and what distinguishes the two in my view? Empathy being um, more rooted as if you kind of can put yourself in the position of the other person and whatever they're feeling and experiencing. And then you kind of speak from that space of, of empathetically speaking. Um, it could be given advice. It could be given how you would maneuver through the situation. Um, you have gain an understanding of what it may feel like from them, and you can do that whether you've actually had that experience or not. Compassion is has more of because empathy and compassion overlap. They have similarities, yet they are different from what I'm told in the readings. So compassion definitely requires action. That's one of the main differences when it comes to compassion. You put action into it, you're helping, you're doing something to show compassion to that individual or individuals. Hmm.
All right. So my definition of how do I define it is all right, I got an example. I called you 3 times today, mister. I was empathetic because you didn't answer, but you responded to fucking text messages. And I called you after you responded to a text message. I was like, all right, you don't want to be bothered to the podcast. That's being empathetic. Compassion is
Okay.
me caring, and I kept reaching out. So I was like, all right, let me make sure he's straight.
I like that.
Hey,
I
no,
like what
real
you did
shit.
with that.
Real shit, though. I did that today, though. Literally, I did that today. Because
Mhm.
I
You know
reached
what?
out to you 3 times, and then I see you respond in a text message, and then I was like, let me call it one more time. I was like, all right,
Bro,
my.
you know what's funny? I'm just now seeing these missed calls from you, bro. That's crazy.
You're just now seeing them, you said?
I'm just now seeing them. I'm just now seeing them, bro. For real. I am terrible. If my phone is not in my hand, I don't be paying that shit. So I took a
Right,
long
Hmm.
that,
nap today. So he called me to
yeah,
discuss my nap.
today was this was the perfect start of the topic because it just literally happened today, literally.
I love it. I love it. I love it. For me, I think mine is gonna be similar to Lady A, but empathy is just simply the ability to understand somebody else's struggle and to share that understanding. That's the empathy part. And I feel like you
Hmm.
said, compassion goes a little bit further. You know what I'm saying? That involves a genuine desire to help someone. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Putting the empathy into action is your compassion.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I started to
You
see
want
your message. I was like,
Okay, there you go.
let me leave him alone.
I think
It's the
I
Lord saying, I know,
look,
it's the
look.
Lord
you said
saying.
it's the Lord
I don't think you're really empathetic in this here. You sound like a
um,
break going on.
can one of you or both of you, how about that? Can y'all guys share ladies and gentlemen. Can y'all share a personal experience where empathy made a significant impact on your life or someone else's that you witnessed?
In the circle. I don't want to be next. That requires me to think. Can you share a personal experience where empathy made a significant impact on your life or someone else's life? You go, you take it, B. I have to think. I
Like
like I can be that person. I can apply it to myself if that would make sense. I'm not sure.
It says you or someone else. Yeah.
Okay. So my personal experience of finding out that I was infected HIV, AIDS, HIV, I had to exercise empathy for myself
Ooh,
and
talk about it.
to understand it, to be okay with it, and then how do I navigate with it daily? So it's really like a constant tumbleweed ball of empathizing at various times in my days of life. Um, it also brought me to a space that's where it propelled empathy for me, you know, and therefore for others.
Yeah.
What I was feeling, then I can now only imagine or I could presume this is what others are feeling. And also, when I read stories or someone shares a story with me, then that gave confirmation that, yeah, I'm feeling what they're feeling. So
Yeah.
that empathy connected also drew on my compassion to do something not outside of myself, beyond myself. Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
Hmm.
Be you.
okay. For me, it's I actually went through this actually recently going home. It changed because it changed my communication with my kids and my y'all know Yesenia. Everybody know Yesenia, which is the mother of my kids and everything.
Oh,
Um, yeah. So it changed that because when I went home, I realized I was probably being selfish, like with time, because look at me, I have like I have all the free time. Even though I'm on my own and I work a lot, and it's stressful, but it's more stressful on her and the kids because her being stressed stresses the kids out. So I gotta balance, which I haven't figured. Well, I figured out what I need to do. I got to balance with communication with not even just her, with each individual kid, which is a whole day in itself with the fucking squad I got. So it's like it's a lot. So I would say that, and that's something I need to work on as well. Like focus on growth for all of us. So yeah, you're on mute.
I think everybody experiences empathy a little more than they think. I feel like every time I see somebody walking in the rain, I'm empathetic. Makes me want to turn around and pick them up. I think anytime I see somebody who, I'm gonna know this is tender when I say this, but I'm gonna say it anyway because this is how I feel. When I see somebody who is, I feel like is really homeless and not just panhandling. I'm empathetic to that situation. When I'm in line and I see a young lady with kids and I see her scraping change trying to pay for something, she don't got enough and she got to put something back. I'm empathetic to those situations. And a lot of times, if I'm in a position to, I say, hey, go ahead and get what you got. We got, whatever you lacking, I'll cover it. And just a sign of compassion that I witnessed the other day. Me and my lady went to the store. She wanted to buy a cowboy hat to match me. We get all the way to the register, and the man stops her and was like, "Hey, have you paid for that yet?" And she was like, "No." And I'm standing off to the side. We dressed the same, so you can kind of see that we're together. Um, and the man continued to pay for her items, over $70 worth of items, and then spoke to me and was like, "Hey, come here. If I'm paying for your lady things, you better come speak to me and shake my hand." You know what I mean? So like, and when he said it, he was like, "Look, I'm only doing this out of love and out of compassion. You know what I mean? And I just want y'all to spread the love and compassion of God to the next person you see, and that's all I ask." So, you know,
Mhm.
those are different examples of empathy and compassion that we just that's in our everyday lives. You know,
Mhm.
I had friend lose family members, you know, and just being able to be there for them and listen to them whenever they're in their trying time, and having somebody to actually feel like they care, that's showing empathy. We have a member that is going through some things right now on our podcast, and us being there for him allows us to show
Mhm. Yes,
empathy and
yes,
compassion in this situation.
yes. Mad
Shout
at
out to
her.
you, you know who you is.
For sure, for sure.
So these are different ways that I feel like, we may experience empathy without even paying attention that we experience it. Anytime we see things or people being affected on TV, I mean, I was empathetic to the Chicago situation. I'm empathetic to
Mhm.
all of the situations regarding immigrants and ICE and
Mhm.
things of that nature. I have my own opinion about all that. So, you know,
Mhm.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Can
Moving
I?
right along. Go ahead.
Mhm. I wanted to add something on that because it just pricked my heart mentioning our member of the podcast and Mad Hatter just expound on empathy. Um, Sometimes when I meet people, and here I'm meeting all of y'all virtually. We've never yet been face to face, hand in hand. But Mad Hatter was one that hearing him and sharing himself and his story that I felt immediate empathy for because I have a connection there and to understand that. Like part of me, even though there's differences in his shoes and mine, but then there's similarities and type of emotional imbalances and all of that and the pain in the mind and suffering in the mind. So yeah, he really pricked me like that. And yeah, I just wanted to say that. So the people, I think it's good to hear how deep empathy is. Yeah.
Respect that. What are
Mhm.
some misconceptions about empathy that you encounter on a day-to-day basis or in
Mhm.
an everyday conversation?
Yeah. I think have a good point with this. I find in everyday conversations, it appears to me that there's a misconception of the understanding of empathy or lack of understanding, how to know through a conversation when someone, whatever the topic is, whatever they're talking to you about, and if they're responding about that to the person that they're hearing from, that it's being empathetic towards them. When you're allowing yourself, like I said, where in me it starts, the energy starts to build up, and I'm thinking into what they said. I'm literally, really deeply thinking into the wording they use, you know, and for me, I'm analyzing it all, and then I speak on it, and a lot of times it's like it's troublesome for people because it goes back to what y'all call is just where kind of dumbed down. Well, I don't want you telling me what to do, or I don't want you telling me how I should feel about this. I don't, but that's not what I just said. Do you know what I'm saying? Or it's well, why are you thinking about me so much like that? Or why do you I've heard a lot of like, are you kidding? So I find that some people are lacking, I can't say lacking empathy, but lacking the understanding of empathy. hmm I can't hear
I
you.
like that. I like that. I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
I can attest to that. I think people in service lack empathy. People in a like uh like when you see nurses don't have empathy, that's a dangerous feeling. You know what I'm saying? When you see
Mhm.
EMS not being empathetic, that's when you see the chief of the fire department cussing at that young girl. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Where was the empathy for that situation?
I got
When you see,
something for you on that, Mister.
when you
There's a
see
term.
uh,
There's a term for that. Just and then what you're saying, the lack of, and because in my reading, input. Oh, it's a term for it. I'm just gonna speak it out. Then I have to go to my notes to pull up the term. But it's like a burnout, empathy or burnout. And they listed all of those type of workers that you people in service because they deal with these type of cases every day all day long, so it's natural, really like normal, that you get a burnout from that. But then there's suggestions on what to do to protect yourself or to not continue to burn out. Yeah. So again, with what I said, people don't understand empathy, have a lack of it, because a lot of times a lot of people we accuse them of not empathizing with them to understand why they're come, like the bedside manner is horrible, but it's from the service that they have been given. But go ahead, I just wanted to add that in. Thank you.
be you. What are some common
I
misconceptions about empathy, brother?
I think both of y'all took my answer, so I'm gonna go the other route. I think people take advantage of empathetic people. People like they overuse, they overuse you just because you're empathetic, and it's like, like I could go to yeah, I could go to her. I could go to Lady Alva, like, she got me regardless of anything, and she's always got me, and then
Right.
just because you're a nice person,
Mm-hmm.
and then people, and then like, so they never learn their lesson
Yeah.
at all. They never learn their lesson because you're there all the time to babysit them.
Mhm.
And I learned that with a friendship that we're no longer friends anymore. We never will be ever, 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 ever. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, like people will abuse you being empathetic,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mhm.
it's not a good feeling. Like that feeling hurt me. Like that broken friendship hurt me actually, and
Mhm.
I had to be compassionate and let him go.
Compassionate and let
Because
them go.
because I care about me before I care about
I
you.
know that's right. I know that's right. That yeah,
I wish I was lying.
that's a good
Look,
point. Yeah, that's a good point.
there is only one BU, ladies and gentlemen, and I am
Something one
yeah,
be
and I am lucky to have a pleasure to know. For me, to answer the question of the misconception of I think I think the misconception is people think that just because I have empathy that I'm supposed to agree with someone. I can be empathy and empathetic towards their situation, but still have my own perspective. You know what I mean? I
Hmm.
can still
Hmm.
understand and understand from their perspective and from what they're feeling, but still, you know what I mean? I don't have to agree with the way that they're going about it. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
I'm empathetic to someone who, is homeless, but I may not agree with why they put themselves in a position to be homeless. You know what I mean?
Right,
Um,
right.
because I feel like at the end of the day, everything comes down to choices. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
at some point of the time, there was a choice that you didn't make. To me, there's a choice to hold a sign, or there's a choice to go get in the unemployment line. You know,
Hmm.
so
Yeah. Both of y'all, those are two good points. I've found experienced what you said, BU too. It becomes frustrating because it's like this empathy that's in me. I'm hearing your story or another story, and then I can connect this story from this day or whatever, all these things about a person, and it has similarities. So if I'm listening to you, I want to, like you said, Mister, give my perspective on it. I don't listen to agree. That's not my first point of my bullet point in listening. But some people expect for you to agree. And then here they come with another story or another circumstances. And then some of these people, like, they okay with that. But I'm fine with this. How? So it's very frustrating because now I can't help but exercise my empathy. Then that gets all twisted around. So it comes to a point, you know what? I got to stop listening to you. I have to because it's going nowhere. It's just our life's issues talking about it and nothing has changed.
It's a
And
snake
I
eating
don't.
its tail.
All
Mister, Mister,
right, all right,
it's a snake
Southern
eating
boy.
its tail.
All right, Southern boy. Yeah, so that was very good points you guys brought up, and it is so true. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. In what ways do y'all think society encourage or disencourage empathetic behavior?
Normalizing all this BS. That's one I got, and I think that stands on its own. Enough said. Next.
It's I think it's accountability. That ties
Mhm.
into the last answer is accountability. Like you keep letting somebody get away with the same thing over and over again, it's gonna keep happening. Nothing's gonna change. Like and then when society picks and chooses, it enhances one, lowers the other, or vice versa, or. So yeah, I think that's my answer. Yeah.
Mhm.
I think for me, I think the things that we see on the internet desensitizes us from from things,
I agree.
and I think that
Hmm.
creates a gap for us being empathetic to people's situation because we see traumatic situations in TV and film, and we hear about it on the news every day. Somebody got gunned down. Someone is wildfires out here took over 10,000 homes. You know what I mean? Like everybody, we
Yeah.
hear about so much traumatic and catastrophe on the news and in the media and on social media when we scrolling. Like we see so much trauma in the world that I think seeing all of it in abundance makes everybody a little more less empathetic because now, you know what I mean, we desensitize to people's situation. And then now we always associate with shit. Well, good thing that ain't me. Or a good thing that's not
Mhm.
happening in my community. Or a good thing I'm not affected by that. You know, we're desensitized to the fact that, 100 bombs be dropped overnight on the Gaza Strip. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we
Yeah.
desensitized to the fact that different places in Ukraine will never be the same. We desensitized to the fact that we drop bombs on Israel. I mean, not on Israel, but on Iran. You know what I mean? To destroy their nuclear program. Like we desensitized to the civilians that had affected it because it wasn't us. We desensitized when we see and desensitized takes us and makes us less sympathetic on things that we see on the TV when we see ice sprays. That's somebody's mother, that's somebody's children, that's somebody's grandma, that's somebody's son, that's somebody's uncle. But we desensitize because it's not us, and we are less empathetic to those situations. When we see car crashes and things of that nature on the TV, we desensitize. We record it and pulling our phone out. Somebody is laying on the pavement dead. You know what I mean? We are less empathetic to their family, and them being the first time that they're seeing this is scrolling on your timeline versus finding about it personally. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think different things. We see celebrities get embarrassed publicly, and we desensitize to it, and we come on the comments and bash them. As soon as somebody, you know what I mean? Like, think about it. We sit here and talk about the Diddy situation, but how do his children feel about seeing their dad paraded in the media like that? So we desensitize
Mhm.
about everything. We have it's different things that make us unempathetic about a lot of situations.
Yeah. Let
and
me
I
pick.
I
feel like
agree.
Oh,
the lack of
mhm.
education also does
Yeah.
the same. Y'all can go.
To piggyback off what you just said, that was a good mouthful. A good mouthful. Um, recently, I started thinking because I watch a lot of different content. I watch crime stories, documentaries, reports on things. YouTube, I have specific creators that I watch that gives reports. But after a while, it's the same stuff over and over again. It's just too much at this point. And I do it just I learn things from it and learning primarily human behavior, right? So I do it for knowledge and stuff like that. And to exercise my compassion and empathy. And I see the same thing you see that comments or they like these people, this girl came on shout out to Chris Styles. I watch him. I forget the name of the show. Trapping Anonymous. Um, young lady came on something about charged with 7 murders. Young woman. She's a rapper too. I think it's Bonnie something. It is Bonnie something. But the comments under this, she shared her story. They were just ripping her. Oh, she's a demon. Oh, she's this, she's that. Like you don't even know this lady. Where's your empathy and compassion? Did you hear? Did you really listen to the story? So I thought, here's an idea. We need to take away the rights of anybody and everybody, Joe Schmo, Lady Alva, BU, or Mr. Sexual, having a YouTube channel where we're reporting all this crime, this that happening to the leave it to the professionals, to the news reporters, not everybody, because all they're doing is making money off of that, off of people's trials and tribulations. And then, like we say, you see the comments like, what? That needs to stop to help to desensitize us. That's my view on it. Because when we're just getting too much of that, it's mm-mm. And the people doing that like that are kind of, I question if they are desensitized. They say it in another way, but you're making money off of that. You want all this followings, clicks, and likes, and all of that. Subscribe. Now you got the other part where you go in here and you can pay for special content only as a member. Like, and none of these people, they're creative newscasters, if you will, you know, by their own right. And I think it should just be singularly to tragedies that are happening in this world and human life. It should just be at the news stations or the news stations that are radios, and that's it. Now,
All
and
right.
pay me my coins when y'all start to do take my idea. Whoever's listening out there,
I'll do that. Lady Alice said, pay her coins if y'all listen.
that's right.
It's my what the commercial say is my money and I need it now.
And
Send
there
her
you
her
go.
Jay-Z set word. Okay.
Uh-huh.
It's her money and she needs it now, ladies and gentlemen.
Now. Mhm.
All right.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, how can a lack of empathy lead to dysfunction in a personal relationship or in a community?
Oh,
I,
wow. Go ahead. You
I
can
got
jump.
this one. I got
Go
this one.
ahead.
We kind of went through this earlier. The person we spoke to earlier, three-way on the phone, Mister. I'll say his name. AJ. No, that was yesterday when we spoke to him on the phone, and he hung up on us because he didn't agree with what we were saying. But and he told me to talk about this. Actually, he told me I talked to him earlier today. That's why I was calling you too. So he told me to bring it up. And it wasn't because we weren't empathetic to him. It was because he
Mm,
couldn't figure out a way to get his point across to us the right way. And we meant good. Like I lost a friendship to him before because of y'all know my mouth. It's not that I just say it, and then I
mhm,
mean no harm with what I
BU
say.
has
I
no
just
filter,
say it.
ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I
mhm.
just say it. I don't think about the answer. I just say it, and then that's how I feel. Like I mean no harm. And he learned that. Like that's why we're friends again. And we came together and apologized to each other. AJ, you're probably
Good,
watching.
good.
Shouts out to AJ. But he caught me like later that day. He's like, "Yo, I wasn't even mad at Tonio or Mister. I was mad at me because I couldn't get my point across." But and I was still empathetic. I was like, I understand. I get it. But like, empathy works both ways, actually, when you think about it. Because you gotta care about each other to be like, for empathy to work. Actually, it goes both ways, and like I said, if the other person don't care, it's gonna be a one-sided job. You're gonna be the only one being empathetic, and me, I don't like one-sided shit, so I cut shit off, like because it's hurting me in the long run, and I just get the fuck out of here. I ain't gonna lie to you. Hey, I love you, but hey, deuces, like hey. Deuces, but yeah, it works both ways, bro. And it's like it ruins relationships because the other person don't understand how empathy works. That's how it ruins relationships.
That's it. That's it. That's it. Mm-hmm.
I think I have to agree with you when you say that the lack of empathy leads to dysfunction about basically the lack of understanding, because that's what
Mm-hmm.
it comes down to. It comes down to the lack of understanding, and when we don't understand and when we can't see from each other's perspective, that leads to unresolved issues, and that leads to not being able to collaborate and connect, and that keeps that connection at a hinder because we
Mm-hmm.
can't see each other and we don't understand each other's perspective. You know what I mean? So if I don't understand your perspective, how the hell can I be empathetic? How can I be
Hmm.
empathetic to a situation that I don't understand? It's not
Mm-hmm.
even
Yes.
it's not even an offense to you. You know what I mean? It's not even
Yeah.
no harm. It's like I don't even mean no harm, but if I don't understand, how can I be empathetic to something I don't understand? So
Mm-hmm.
when the lack of being able to understand another person's plight, with the lack of not having to be able to understand somebody else's perspective or understand that your perspective is not the only one, or just because something is your perspective don't mean that it's absolutely law. It's not. You know what I'm saying? We
Mm-hmm.
have to. I think it behooves anyone to not lean to their own understanding. You know what I
Amen.
mean? So
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
do some
I like.
research
Oh,
and
go ahead. I'm
get
sorry.
other people's perspective on things. You know what I mean? Have a healthy dialogue from somebody that is unbiased point of view, and see if you get the same
Mm-hmm.
answer. A lot of times you will find
Mm-hmm.
out, like it sucks to hear, but sometimes you ever let me give y'all an example. Y'all ever hear somebody vent to y'all, and then while you listen to it, the situation you listening and you find out like you the problem.
Mm-hmm.
You listen
Yeah.
to the situation, and then you like,
You.
listening to this, you the problem. You know what I'm
Well,
saying? And so,
And I'm gonna tell you.
yeah, I'm
Hey,
telling you, you know
yeah,
what I
B, you gonna tell you.
mean?
this how we get to the bottom of this. You need to stop.
Yeah, it ain't them, it's you. So
Yeah.
I think when people lack the ability to see things from other people's perspective, it creates the
Mhm.
lack of understanding, and the lack of understanding creates the lack of empathy.
Yes.
Because I
Yes.
cannot be empathized, or I cannot empathize with something that I do not understand.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So with that being said, so can we hold somebody accountable for their ignorance?
You can.
Yeah.
Um,
I
if
say
if
you
if
can.
you can, but like the second or third time, like you gotta let them know, like, all right, you did
Okay,
say
this
Like
is
that,
say,
like,
you gotta give
yeah,
them some
yeah.
grace. You gotta give
Right,
them some
yeah,
grace.
like,
right. Yeah,
yeah. Second or
yeah,
third time, hey, what they say, fool me once, say, yeah,
Shame
fool
on
me
you,
yeah,
fool me
twice.
twice, shame on me.
Yeah,
yeah.
so
Fool me
second,
three
third
times,
time is like,
motherfucker, okay. Hey,
This is
fuck the
and
peace
this is
sign,
what I
throw the
did
chopper, let it
with that.
rain on you.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So
Yeah.
this is what I did with that friendship that I was like, all right, we just gotta end this. Like, all right,
Yeah.
let's
Yeah.
just go our
Yeah.
separate ways. I wish no harm on you, nothing like
Of
that. So,
course,
all right,
Yes.
of
I'm gonna
course.
go that way. You go that way. It's a fork in the road. Like,
Yeah.
let's go.
Yeah.
And then, and I wish the best for you. But yeah, because some people don't know like what type of person they are. They don't know who they are until, and then some people are scared to tell people like because they don't want to. I'm gonna tell you like
They don't
because
want to
if I
ruin the
care about you,
relationship. Yeah.
yeah, if I care about you, I'm gonna say it like regardless. Like if I
Mhm.
don't care, then
Mhm.
I'm gonna just let you be ignorant pretty much.
Right.
So
Yeah. That's the thing. I think I like what both of y'all said. Is only for me to, in simple ways, to expound on it. Um, I I'm hearing like there's lack of empathy in a relationship between two people, or maybe more than two. If there's the void of empathy there, then it's not good relating. you know, if there's a void on one side in that relationship, then it's not balanced right.
hmm
Because we empathy is required in our getting to know each other, because that's a component of how we get to know you, and understanding you, and how we help each other grow too. you
yes,
know
you gotta be
yeah.
honest with each other.
Yeah, yeah, and so it's interesting and it's tough. So I think some people just have empathy in a box for like tragedy. It doesn't go beyond. It doesn't cover a full circle for them. It's just something that's tragic, or something that is a trial or tribulation. And that's where empathy comes into their mind or hearts. Because when
All right,
you're getting to know someone, and you know the components of them, then that's what you should be able to empathize with, and not say that you don't want them, like that's a problem for you.
I,
You can't make people who you want them to be. Yeah,
I
so.
got a question for you, Lady Alva. You said empathy is in a
Mhm.
box, like because I know people who's like they hold and you said tragedy. They hold on to tragedy
Mm.
and they use that excuse for everything. Well, I can't do this because this happened, even if it's 10 years ago. Or like,
Mm.
I can't do this because this happened. How do you handle those type of people? Like, they're holding on to
Yeah,
tragedy. They're not growing out of
Using
it,
it,
and then they're
using it
dragging
as a
you along.
crutch.
yeah. Well, what my that for me to hear that is, well, what if, if they didn't tell me what happened, that they just saying this happened. What is the this that happened?
Let's say a family
And
member passed away.
right, right. But I'm right. Well, so what is the this? Once I know what the this is that happened, then my thing is to empathize with them and share the tools that I know of how to get over tragedy. That
Okay,
is just that simple, you know. And that becomes difficult with people, because you know what a lot of people would say, oh, well, I'm not you. Oh, that's what works for you. Tell
that's
me,
what I was looking for.
what works for you, because I'm not. Wait before you answer. I say, because you just told me that you can't do something 10 years later because of something that happened 10 years ago. So what does work for you?
That's the answer I was looking for. Good job. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
We got a listener on Instagram that said more people need to listen to this. You know what I mean? More people need to listen, period, just to create some empathy. You know what I mean? Sit down and listen to somebody. Listen to somebody's perspective. Listen to somebody's side. You know what I mean? Understand where they come from and be
Yeah.
open to understanding. I think is a
Hmm.
huge thing. You know what I'm saying? You got to put some openness, open up our hearts. A lot of us is very selfish and self-centered, and if it doesn't affect us immediately, then we don't care about it. I feel like all of us have to break from that type of mentality, and I think the world kind of and
Yes.
society pushes us and pushes that on you. You know, to only care
Yes.
about and worry about self. Because why would think about it? If the media wants push self preservation on you because the world don't want you to be empathized with everybody else. Because if we came together as a community, we can make the power move. But you know what I'm saying? Divided we fall, but you know what I'm saying? United we stand together. You know what I mean? United we stand tall. So I feel like we gotta understand that we are all one body and many members, and every member is needed. You know what I mean? I can't get up and
Amen.
walk without my foot, even though I'm the head. You know what I mean? So the tail is
That's
needed.
right.
You know what I mean? So I
That's
need every
right.
part of it. So I think that a call to action around the world is needed. You know what I'm saying? Just for us to have some love. You know what I mean? A lot of us don't. We're so full of hatred. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has a different prejudice about something, no matter who you are and where you come from. And if we can just remove some of that and create some empathy and some love and some understanding in there, I feel like the world in a whole could be a better place.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Amen
I
to that.
agree.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And thank you to that person. You said somebody on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's a good compliment. Thank you.
We see all our, I think we see all our listeners. We see everybody. You know what I mean? We're
Hmm.
not always on every app that we are streaming live on, because we stream live on three apps simultaneously, so we all on all of them at the same time. If you come to YouTube and you put your comments in the chat, it will pop up in real time, and I can put them on air where everyone can see them. But we do appreciate you whether you listen to the audio version, where
Yeah.
you listen to us live, or you come back and watch it on YouTube the next day. Wherever we get you eyes on us, we appreciate it. We're always in a position to offer change. You can
Amen.
hear
Yep,
that
yep,
later.
yep. Mhm.
All right, so let me ask y'all this final question before we jump into some of the fun topics for today.
Mhm.
Mhm. How does cultural background influence the way that we express or receive empathy and compassion?
I
Mm.
I want to answer that first. I want to answer
You
number
out
two
the
first,
circle,
actually.
man. You out the circle for real. You out the circle.
Uh, no, I want to answer the one before that. You got that one.
I'm just messing
Uh,
with you though, but it's true. God,
hey,
it's enjoyable.
can you describe a situation where you felt someone's lack of compassion affect you deeply? Yes, and it was lack of compassion for myself, actually.
Mm.
Wait, we doing another
Um,
number? I just got you. Just confused
no,
me.
that's just my
That's
that's
what.
my
Oh,
question. Yeah, I want to
oh,
answer that
okay,
question.
okay,
I was looking
okay. I
forward to
got
that
you.
one, actually. I got to vent a
Okay,
little bit, I got
be
my
you.
look.
Talk to me,
I'm a
baby.
little
Talk to
crazy.
me. Talk to me.
All right, go
Right.
ahead, be you.
So I felt like I did have a lack of compassion for myself because I felt like people, or this is how I could talk about this situation so easily. People were being empathetic to me, but I wasn't appreciating it, and that's why I understand this whole topic. Actually, I wasn't appreciate the empathy at all. I was just taking advantage of it, like or I was ignoring it, like even not even using it, just ignoring it, like and hiding who I was and like my problems and everything until I started this fucking Art for Change podcast with Mister, and then now y'all can't get me to shut the fuck up. Because now I'm just so open. I had a lot to say. I was just like fucking cage. I was a cage bird. Like now they let the cage open. Now I'm over there somewhere in the mountains. So that's what I do want to say is um you gotta soak it in and you gotta take it for what it's for. Like this is a touchy topic for me too. Like this when you said this, I was like, oh shit, like I'm in trouble. But like this was me. Like all this was me. Like, and it's like it's not hiding anything or it's like I don't want to put my burden on anybody else. I want to just handle this shit by myself. I don't want, but you need to talk to people. That's the thing, which is like a therapeutic Thursday thing. You gotta talk to people. I will hide my problems and people wouldn't know what's going on. I would just get over it and then put it in and pass. All right, like what's next, God? Like what's next problem? I got it, But it started helping when and we're coming up on a year actually. We're coming up on a year for the podcast, and it started the first podcast. And and what I told you, Mister A, I get nervous. I get nervous before every podcast. And then as soon as you say, "Hey, we are live," I just go like
You turn it
fucking
up. Yeah.
crazy. I just go off.
Yeah.
But I be nervous before every podcast all the time. I don't know why. That's just me. That's who I am. Like and then once I get to talking, I go get the flowing. But this platform in general helped me. And then actually once we started this, like everything just got better for me. And it's like and I better for you too, mister. Like everything just got better. Like
Yeah.
so I wanted to answer that question. No matter what question you ask, I wanted to answer that one. Yeah, so
I love it. I love it. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. We'll do
Yeah,
both
that's
of them.
good.
Lady Alvo, can you describe
You,
a situation where you felt some lack of compassion affected you deeply?
yeah, it's more of an overall what affects me deeply when someone has lack of compassion with me is when they don't exercise to really get to know me, the components of me, to understand the components of me, and judge them correctly, not inaccurately, you know, not thinking thinking what you say, thinking to their own understanding of what something is. Well, the statements like, yes, you did, because that you said this and that. No, no, no. Okay, I said that, but do you understand what I'm saying? Because I have a tendency to say things and actually, like our Mad Hatter, he's a riddler, and I'm told that too. You talk in riddles. Well, okay, well then now I know I can expound, and sometimes I deliberately talk in riddles because I'm a mind provoker, and I love someone to provoke my mind too. And that's part of the key that I love here at Art for Change because we do that amongst each other here. As we're talking about topics, we're literally exercising empathy towards one another, compassion towards one another, and mind provoking one another, you know, and getting to know each other and accept that. So I don't like when that's imbalanced and people are accusatory towards me because I call it you're not on this, you lack the frequency that I'm on. And I don't know how more to explain it to you. But I've gotten to where it's like, all right, it becomes an argument. And then they just going on and I say something, then they cut me off out of 3 words I said, and maybe my sentence is a 5 word sentence, and they jump in there, wait, hold on. I don't like it at all. And that's not a good relation. And it does affect me deeply because now I have to sit with that and I do examine myself truly to see where am I accountable in this? What is it? And what that they said is, even though I was rejectful of it, but is it true? I discern it, you know, to figure it out. And when you have to do that, that's a lot of energy. It's a lot of energy to exercise empathy. It's a lot of
and,
energy.
and
So,
to
I,
piggyback off what you said,
mhm,
what me and you went through, we both were
uh-huh.
empathetic towards each other. That's
Yes,
why
yes,
we're both still here, and because
right,
we were adults, and we talked out this
right,
situation.
right. Also, too, I think what I learned too, we actually obviously had have the empathy in us
Hmm.
because when I called you, reached out, it was like you were almost like you were waiting for that transaction because you were right
Hmm.
on point. I mean, all right, Lady Alva, yeah, come on back. It just all
Yeah.
fell, boom, 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 boom. And it was amazing. It was amazing. So as I was hesitant to make the call to hold myself accountable for my own personal reasons of how should be able to and could have dealt with a situation, I got more out of it than what I expected, and you were right there at the door, like waiting. So
I was
it
like,
was
"What's up?
amazing
Hey,
that
let's
way.
get to the
Yeah,
bottom.
yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
let's get to the bottom of this."
Yeah. 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 So that's what affects me deeply. And after a while, I have to decide. Well, maybe not talk to if one person or whoever persons it is so much, back off, because it rattles my energy. It rattles me, and it's like I'm going. It's like a losing type of fight. Like, and I always want to win in anything I do. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's it.
I respect both of that, y'all answers. And I think I'm gonna
Hmm.
give an answer for this too, and just so everybody understand what the question is again. The question is, can you describe a situation where you felt someone's lack of compassion affects you deeply? And I think I'm gonna take it to relationships. I think oftentimes when we get in a relationship with people, sometimes our partner not having compassion for us, or having compassion for a certain situation could affect us. When I was in my first marriage, you know what I'm saying, when I was maintaining everything and she was a stay-at-home wife, you know what I mean, she loved me, she loved on me a little differently than whenever um, I had to skip being able to pay a bill because work was slow
Oh
this week or
wow.
finances. It was like her love came based off what I could do and what I could provide. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
and and that situation made me feel like, okay, if I'm the only thing that makes a man a good man is if he can provide for you. You know what I mean? And then you get into other situations and you learn like, there's different ways to be a man more than just providing, and more to a man in any relationship more than just, provision. So if it was, and then it was like, I was having a conversation with a different woman, and she was like, "Well, was you doing this? Or was you doing that? Was you doing that?" And I was like, "Yes, yes, 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 yes." She was like, "Well, you know what I mean. You still were doing and fulfilling other things, even when, what I'm saying, the finances were lacking. You know what I mean." And then, I was having a conversation with someone older, and they was like, "Well, relationships is a yin and yang. Whenever my
Mhm.
husband couldn't do, I had to pull a little more, do a little more, and then as soon as he got back on his feet, I was able to relax, and you have to be able to help each other out, so to speak. You know what I mean? And so if everything is one sided, it's almost like a car. The car gets you to where you're going, but you still got to put gas and you got to put oil and you got to put some things in that car before it can continue to work for you. So if you keep overusing and overusing and overusing whatever without never filling it up with gas, without ever putting no oil in, eventually that car gonna break down. You know what I mean? And that's how we treat
Mhm.
people. You know what I mean? We get in relationships with these people and we forget that, they're providing a service to us. They're getting us to where we're going, or they're doing things that helps us, but we're not doing the maintenance in that relationship to make sure that relationship keep going. And then when that
Mhm.
person breaks down on us, be like, oh man, and it was a piece of shit car. It was like, no, the car wasn't a piece of shit. That you was a full owner. Now we can apply that to a relationship and put it in
Yeah,
perspective. So
yeah,
that way, someone lack of compassion can affect someone deeply. Yeah. So
yeah,
when next time you love it on someone, make sure that you love it on them properly. So
yeah. So
I
she
like
was
that.
the problem.
I don't point fingers.
I just,
It
um,
could be
and I
both.
have to take
Hey,
my
it could be
and I
both
and I
people
and
the
I,
problem.
and I have to take my
I,
accountability for things. You know what I mean? I was a young man,
yeah,
and I'm pretty sure it's things that I didn't do well.
yeah.
So
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay. It was just the opportunity to come back with the line that Mr. said earlier here tonight. So that's all. And he cleared it and covered it. And that's all I'm doing. Oh.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know what I mean? I have to have compassion and empathy for the situation. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And from her lack of understanding, and from my lack of understanding, and from us
Yeah,
being
yeah.
immature and younger, and growth is a beautiful
and
thing.
and, and, and communication.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Communication without comprehension is nothing. We gotta comprehend. Comprehend comes with some understanding. You gotta understand.
That's it. That's it.
SWV, this song means so much more when you grow the fuck up. What I need from you is understanding. All right.
Hey, that's
All
funny.
right.
Like,
That's
hey,
my
I say that to
song.
my kids. Are you listening? Yeah, I'm listening. But do you understand what
You
I'm saying?
understand.
Right.
You
Right.
could be
Yeah,
listening and not understand nothing.
Right.
exactly.
Exactly. I tell
Absolutely.
them, put your ears on.
Yeah.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Last question for the night. How does cultural background influence the way that we express or receive empathy and compassion?
Whew. I um I had something for that cultural background. It influences it. Do like how we're raised, what you receive, and when you're being raised. If you didn't learn about empathy and compassion, and you didn't see that picture, it influences you to not have it. You know, things that go on in the culture, it can influence negatively and positively. Things that go on in the culture, how cultures are. I think the Black culture, we've learned a lot about it, empathy and compassion based upon our history. And those of us of the old school for sure, and got those stories and fables from our parents or grandparents and great grandparents. And when listening to their struggles too, harkens the heart with empathy and compassion of what they went through, and rightfully so. What we should do with that, and many of us, what we did with that, it influenced us to build a better future, if you will, from that. Yeah, and we're still doing that, and that's something we'll be doing as we all live on this earth. Um, I want to say also empathy and compassion, as I did my little research, are traits. They can vary from one to another. Um, and some people are lacking them. Some people don't have it, but they say it is a trait and a skill. So if you don't have it, you can build a skill to have it. You can build on it to have it through skill. Hmm.
My my answer for that is I think it actually affects men more. I'm gonna just say that because there's men who think caring is like a weakness. And
Mm.
you can't be empathetic towards, because I'm empathetic to all my homies, like everybody, all y'all.
He be
And I
crying.
think
Yes, he be crying.
I've cried on this podcast like 3 times already. I don't care what people think. The
Yeah.
fuck you gonna do? What you gonna do to me? What? Yeah, but I think yeah, I show I wear my heart on my sleeve. But I think like
Mhm.
the cultural background of us is like we gotta be strong, and you can't be empathetic to the next person, and that holds us back as a culture actually, because some of us need that empathy, and we need that advice for the right people, and those are the people who come out the hood and then they hating on them. Oh, you think you better than us? Yes. Yes. I,
Hello.
I lived it. Like, yo, I had a good role model. Like, what? I,
Right.
I listened. Like, what are we talking about? Practice? Like, what? Yeah. So, yeah, and then it's like we're taught masculinity, especially in the Black culture. And we had this conversation earlier, and then we're taught masculinity. Like, masculinity is like, I cried on the podcast. I don't give a fuck who see me cry on the podcast. I don't care. I cry live. like I'm comfortable with me. Like, I'm comfortable with who I
Amen.
am. That's masculinity. I'm not hiding shit. Like, none of that shit. Like, none of that. So I think people think they're too hard Like they're tough guy, and like they're hiding. People like that are hiding something. Literally, they're hiding something. Like, I mean, BU. I can't say it enough, but BU. But like, yes, cultural background is. Uh, I think it hurts us as black more than it helps us, especially black men. That's what I think.
Mhm.
And then black women, y'all are in competition with each other instead of helping each other as well.
Mhm.
I think that's us collectively. Yeah, absolutely. Um, but I agree with both of y'all answers. I think both of y'all answers is basically exactly what it is. The question is, how does cultural background influence the way that we express and receive empathy and compassion? And Lady Alva said, based off how we raise. You know what I mean? That is absolutely true. Our cultural norms shapes our communicational style. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And our emotional expression based off of what we see in our culture. And based off some cultures, vulnerability and weakness, just like B, you were saying, it's like a sign of being soft. So that affects the way that we even demonstrate or receive empathy.
Mhm.
Because, we don't
Mhm.
want to, because to certain men or certain cultures, they don't want to seem as a form of weakness to show vulnerability. You know what I mean? And you have to show a form of vulnerability to be compassionate or empathy. You know what I mean? To empathize with a person. You know what I mean? You have
There's
to
no
show that
growth
you want.
without vulnerability. There's no. That's my understatement. Hey, there's
There
no
you
growth
go.
without vulnerability. That's my understatement for the end of the show right there.
Without
Yeah.
vulnerability. It'll be you on that shit tonight. And we're gonna go through these
Hey,
fun facts. Lady Alva, you wanna run through some of these fun facts for these folks?
Sure will, sure will. All right. Fun facts and historical events for October 19th. First Blockbuster store. Oh, I remember the Blockbuster store. We loved it. On October 19th, 1985, the first Blockbuster video rental store opened in Dallas, Texas, revolutionizing the way people rented movies. It sure did. We loved it. Yeah. Black Monday, October 19th, 1987, is known as Black Monday, with the Dow Jones Industrial Average drop 508 points, 22.6%, marking one of the largest one day percentage declines in stock market history. Black Monday. Siege of Yorktown. This date marks the end of the siege of Yorktown in 1781, a decisive victory for American and French forces during the American Revolutionary War, leading to British surrender. Martin Luther King Jr. arrest. Ooh. On October 19th, 1960, Martin Luther King Jr. was arrested during a sit-in at a segregated lunch counter in Atlanta, Georgia, highlighting the civil rights movement. There you go. The people today get arrested for nonsense, foolishness. They think they right. Lord have mercy. NASA Voyager 2. On this day in 1977, NASA's Voyager 2 spacecraft was launched, eventually providing humanity with its first up close images of Jupiter and Saturn. Keep going.
Yeah, you keep
finish
going.
them all.
Okay. The
Keep going.
birth
I'm
of
gonna
the
do the celebrity
first,
birthday.
okay, the birth of the first computer virus. Ooh, in 1986. Okay, I remember that. The first computer virus, known as Brain,
Right.
was discovered, marking the beginning of the digital age of cybersecurity concerns. See that? It goes all the way back to 1986 and it's
Big
still
facts.
going.
Still going.
Yeah. And
Almost 40 years
World
later.
Pediatric, huh? Oh,
Almost 40 years later. Go ahead.
yeah. World
Hmm.
Pediatric Bone and Joint Day. October 19th is recognized as World Pediatric Bone and Joint Day, aimed at raising awareness about the importance of children's orthopedic health. All right, now. The opening of the world's first theme park in 1955, Disneyland, opened in Anaheim, California, becoming the first ever theme park and establishing a new form of family entertainment. And Six Flags, I'm told, is going to be closing. Like, or after this summer, I think. I'm told Six
Which
Flags
one? The
is
one in
done.
Texas or the one in Georgia or both of
Well, I think. Oh, that's a good question. I thought the one because it's one in Jersey, isn't it?
I
them?
thought
What's
it
It
was
the
could
one
Six
in
be.
Flags we
Virginia
go
too.
to?
Virginia too.
Yeah, we go to from New York to the one in Jersey. So I just thought it was that one. I didn't even ask if it's all of them. But
Yeah,
yeah,
because
something to look
it's one
into.
in Texas, like Arlington, Texas, and then there's one in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah, yeah,
What
yeah,
about
I know.
Virginia?
I'm not sure.
yeah. I don't.
I know King
Oh,
Dominion is in
yeah. King's
Virginia,
Dominion is. Hmm.
but I
That
don't
might be
know
it
if Six Flag is up there. I don't know. It could be. Don't get me wrong. I don't. I
Hmm.
just know that King Dominion is there for sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They just told me that over the latter of the summer. All right. Moving on. Discovery of the neutron on October 19th, 1932. James Chadwick announced the discovery of the neutron, a fundamental particle in the field of nuclear physics. The birth of the first superhero, October 19th, is celebrated by comic book fans as the birth of Superman,
Clark Kent.
who
Man,
first
I ain't know
appeared in
Superman was the
action.
first one.
Yeah, I didn't know either. Who first appeared in Action Comics #1 in 1938, paving the way for the superhero genre. There we go. Fun facts. That's all we got today,
Hey,
Jax.
how about that? October
Yeah.
1938 is when the first comic superhero, Superman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, how about that, son? All right, let's go to these celebrity birthdays. We got Trey Parker, we got Evander Holyfield, we got Rebecca Ferguson, we got Hunter King, we got Malcolm Gambler, we got Jason Rittman, we got Gillian Jacobs, we got Chris Caton, we got Desmond Harrington, we got Jennifer Holliday, we got Ty Pennington, Omar Gooding, that's
Black Lives
Cuba
Matter.
QB.
Gooding Jr. brother.
Uh-huh. And y'all know
Evander
they're the
Holyfield.
sons of the
Hey, he
singing
was
group.
hey, hold up. Oh my goodness, he was a smart guy, right?
He was on Smart
Yes.
Guy, yes. Yes, he was.
Yes.
Yeah.
He
Okay.
was on
Mhm.
Smart Guy.
And y'all
He
know
was the brother's
son-
friend. Yeah.
Yes.
they're the
Go ahead,
sons of
Liliana.
the singer, the sons of a singing group. Is it? I
They
wonder.
could be. I
OJ's
don't
is
know.
coming up. No, they are. They are. I forget the
Okay.
OJ's. I'm not sure, but it is. It is. Yeah, their father was in the singing group. Well, no.
Mm.
And today is
Hmm.
also Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s birthday.
You
What else?
forgot my guy, top of the list, John Lithgow. I didn't hear you say him.
I'm sorry. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Reverend
I like him, and I like that actor.
Mr.
Hey, do we like as a collective? Do we like Robert F. Kennedy? That's the last one you said, right?
Yeah.
Do we like him, or I don't
Why not?
Um.
know. I don't know.
I,
I don't know.
Robert. I
I
don't
don't
know.
like
Robert.
him.
He be pushing the envelope. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Everybody wicked, but he be pushing the envelope. You know what I mean? He be
Yeah.
trying to
Okay.
tell motherfuckers that y'all stop putting all that toxic shit in our food and shit. So you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
All
I
right. I
don't
like
know.
him. I like him. I
I
like him.
don't know. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? He need to stop
Save
smoking
our
them
chickens.
cigarettes or something. That voice sounds crazy.
Save
The
our chickens.
main the main ingredient, Cuba Gooding Jr. Senior, because Cuba Gooding Jr., Cuba Gooding Senior. So he was the lead vocalist, their father, and the main ingredient. Hmm.
The main
Okay,
ingredient.
that's
Plenty
good to
good.
know.
Hmm.
Actually.
Yeah,
Plenty
yeah.
good. Little known Black History fact. There you go, ladies.
There you go. Yeah, yeah.
So wrap up our show, man. Before we get up out of here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell a friend and tell a friend. You know that we go live on Mondays, on Thursdays, and on Sundays at 9 p.m. We got some interviews coming up with some very special people. So hey, look, you might want to hit that bell lock in. You don't want to miss some of these people. And I don't want to give it away, but I just know you better be here for our next Sunday show. You might want to be here for our next Wednesday show. We're gonna have a show on Wednesday. And I know that's not a normal day, so I'm gonna go ahead and let you know right now that we're gonna be live on Wednesday at 9 p.m. We got special guests. Hey, you don't want to miss some of the treats that we got coming for the month of October and November, man.
Mhm.
For
We
the anniversary of our 1 year. So yeah, we got some good people coming on here, bro.
and
So
we got
a
Lady
lot of
Alva
artists.
bringing somebody on, and we got a special guest on a Friday too, which is not a
Oh,
regular show. So we got a
Yes,
lot coming up this coming up next couple weeks actually.
mhm.
absolutely, absolutely. So you don't want to miss. But before we get up out of here, as traditional fashion, we're gonna go around and see if the folks got some titles for people. Lay out, you got some for people before we get up out of here.
Yeah. How about we like, subscribe to Empathy? How about we like and subscribe to Empathy and Compassion?
I like that. I like that.
You
Yes,
can't
yes.
grow. I'm gonna say it again. You can't grow without vulnerability.
Hmm.
To be you said you can't grow without vulnerability. And I'm gonna tell you, like I always tell you, baby, if you don't art, you are artist. Make sure that you are arting for change. You know what I'm saying? Peace of love,
Hmm.
gang. Until next time, and we out here. Oh. Also, before I close out, before I almost forgot, hey, we trying to save y'all some money, folks. So if you want to go over to our Instagram, the official Art for Change podcast, you can go to our highlight section, and we got you 10 or 15% discounts over there. Molly B's, she has some artisan cookies. You go to her website, you get 10% off. Make sure you put Art for Change in the promo on checkout. Same thing if you like graphic tees like this one right here. You can go to oldglory.com, oldglory.com. You get 15% off the entire website. Make sure you put Art for Change in the promo on checkout. And if you like some alkaline or oxidated water, you might want to go to Patriot Water on our highlight section. You get 10% off the entire website. Make sure you put Art for Change in the promo on checkout, baby. Save you some money over for this Art for Change game. Baby, peace and love.
Let the
Go ahead,
people
Lady
know.
Love.
Invite them over when we get ready to have our Molly B's party. Get your
Oh, yeah,
Molly
he already.
B's so you can
When,
snack with
when,
us. We can.
oh, go ahead. Y'all got the snacks. Y'all can pull them out. Y'all can
Yeah,
pull them
but
out.
I'm
but
waiting
tell the
on. Hey,
people,
I'm waiting on
let's
the
have a
host.
snack
I want to
party.
do it. Yeah, I'm
Right,
waiting on
right.
the
Let's have a
host.
snack party with our guests. Come on out, get your Molly B's. So when we do our show, we can all snack together. Have a good
Hey,
time. Good
man.
time.
Say less.
Good talk.
That's what we do. That's what we do. I love it. I love it. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, peace and love in the gang, and we out here.
Peace. Love.